going on, everyone? Golden Ticket to Hit. Coming to you here from Riverside Memorial Park in Jacksonville, Florida. And I'm here to pay my respects to the final resting place of a very iconic person, not only in Southern rock, but in pop culture in its entirety. So we're here at one of the final resting places of the late, great Ronnie Van Zant, lead singer, frontman of the 1970s Southern rock group Lynyrd Skynyrd. And there's a lot of different stories behind his grave. A lot has to do with the fact that his grave was moved. So he started out in one location. After 23 years, his body was uninterred and reinterred here about 10 minutes away from the original final resting site because of vandalism. People were trying to break into his final resting place and trying to either steal parts of his remains, parts of his final resting place. The complete rationale behind what they were trying to do and what the ultimate purpose was is not completely clear, but what we do know is clearly vandalism was happening in his final resting place. So his family had his body exhumed and moved about 10 minutes north of his original final resting place to be placed here. He has some family towards the front of the cemetery, but his grave is right over here behind me by this nice little pond. So we're going to go to the final resting place. We're going to pay our respects, and I'm going to take you guys along with me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure you do so. Turn that notifications bell on. Give us a nice little like. Maybe add a little comment, things you liked, things you disliked, and we'd just like to see more. Let's go check it out. It's the first time. Check it out. So they're doing some groundskeeping work, but here we are. We walk right up here. Nice little gated off area. A lot of stonework. Wall. Overlooking a nice little pond right here. There we go right here. Ronnie Van Zant, 1948 to 1977. Frontman of Lynyrd Skynyrd. It's been on my bucket list to make it out here. So there's a couple people have had some beers over there, coming to pay their respects. We won't be partaking in such activities today, but I have my penny, like always. There's different guitar picks and stuff people have left. I'll put mine right here. So yeah, after 23 years of vandalism, the family decided to pull the remains up and move it over here. I was just talking with a nice gentleman. I'm not sure if he's one of the groundskeepers or what his exact role is, but he asked me if I was looking for Ronnie Van Zant. I said, yes, sir. Pointed me right over here. He told me there's another grave, another famous person up at the front of this cemetery. Might be another member. Doesn't have a grave marker yet, which I thought was quite nice of him. Very hospitable. One of the things I thought was really cool, he told me that there is a bench right over here that actually has an inscription from Charlie Daniels. I'm not sure if Charlie wrote in it by hand or if it's a message left. A brief candle, both ends burning, an endless smile, a bustle turning, a friend to share, a lonesome time, and a handshake, and a sip of wine. Say it loud and let it ring, that we're all part of everything. The future, present, and the past. Fly on, proud bird. You're free at last. Charlie Daniels. It's very nice. You can hear the road from 295, which isn't far away. So as you can see, you have the bench right here. Nice little pond. And Van Zant's final resting place. There's a little grave marker here in progress. guitar picks. So we're now going to make the 10-minute drive to his original final resting place. Pay our respects there as well. Leave a penny there as well, so you can kind of see where his original interment was. I believe you still can see the vandalism damage, which is terrible. And I've also filmed another video, which should be coming up either before or after this one, where I take you to the location of the Hell House. Unfortunately, it was torn down. There was a placard placed there that has also been removed. So unfortunately, there's not really a whole lot to see there, but to be able to go there and to see where songs like Free Bird, Sweet Home Alabama, Don't Ask Me No Questions, you know, all these other iconic Southern rock songs, to be able to go there and pay our respects is monumental. So it's definitely nice to be able to go there and to spend some time. So we're going to drive 10 minutes. It'll take like 3 seconds for you guys. So a 10-minute drive for me. We're going to pay our respects to the original site. Rest in peace, Ronnie Van Zant. Let's go to the next spot. I just want to say briefly real quick, another possible reason behind the moving, besides the vandalism, is that many of the other members of Lynyrd Skynyrd, there's multiple other members buried here in the cemetery. I wish I had time to go to their locations. I would love to pay my respects, but I'm trying to make it to the original location before the sun goes down. So it's actually a 15-minute drive right now because of traffic, so let's get going. See you guys, 15 minutes for me, about 3 seconds for you guys. Let's go. Okay, so we just drove the 15 minutes from more towards downtown Jacksonville over here to Orange Park. And we're here in the Jacksonville Memory Gardens, here to pay our respects at the original final resting place of Ronnie Van Zant, as well as a few other individuals who were part of the band, included with the band. There was some at the other cemetery I didn't get a chance to make it to. And it's something I never fully understood until I started making videos myself, is the complexities that goes into making a video. So sometimes you may have 5, 6, 7, 8 locations you're trying to make it to in a day. So when you go around, you find yourselves not being able to go to places. And people say, well, you're already at the cemetery. Why not take and document that final resting place? And I used to think the same thing. Like, why aren't you just going 100 feet to that final resting place, get some footage, talk a little bit about it, maybe add it to that video, maybe do its own video. And I used to think the same things until I started making my own videos and realized really quickly that it's easier said than done. Sometimes if you have a mission, you have a goal, what you're trying to accomplish, getting to these locations and covering them is, it's crucial. So I'm covering Ronnie Van Zant right now, and that's the video that I'm looking at. So making my way to both of his final resting places took priority and precedent over everything else. This location here just so happens to have a couple other individuals connected with Van Zant as well as his story. So we're going to document those while we're here. So we have right in front of us, this is the original final resting place of Ronnie Van Zant. This was his original stone work. You can see people have left American flags. Some left a big Miller Lite over here. Bandana looks like. Flowers and such. I'm going to leave my penny. Where am I going to put this? I may stick it right up here. Some other coins up here as well. Stick it up right in there. Toy cars and such. Little placard down here, see what it says. Ronnie. Not sure if you guys can see it or not. It's really hard to read. If not, I can probably find a copy of what it says somewhere else. As I mentioned at the beginning of the story of this video, they moved Ronnie because of vandalism. People kept trying to break into his crypt. Some left a bag of chips. It's kind of unfortunate. But you can see this is. I felt like I saw damage before. I'm not seeing as much damage now. This image probably was fixed when they moved his remains. But it makes a lot of sense. So that's one of the main strips right there. Main roads here in Orange Park. Entrance is right over there. His office is right behind me. So it's really accessible. So even if they close the gate today, someone could easily just walk right through over there, or walk through here through the woods, and gain access to Ronnie's final resting place. So I guess people were trying to either get parts of his remains and maybe just parts of his crypt. There's no telling what their original purpose was, whether or not it was true malice intent or if it was, some other reasonings. But 23 years, Ronnie's final remains were here interred in this small crypt. And then after 23 years in 2000, they moved his final resting place to the other cemetery. See here we have Gaines. We have Cassie Gaines. The world is not a conclusion. The sequel stands beyond invisible as music, but positive as sound. So it seems as if they moved the Charlie Daniels bench that was here. They moved it over to the other final resting place. Not sure if they have connections to Van Zant or not. I did a little bit of research, and I'll probably do some voiceovers or add something in showing whether or not this final resting place is connected to the Van Zant final resting place or not. So, leave a penny as we always do. Here. And leave one over here as well.